Iconic Field is the beautiful, if slightly baffling, Animator Expo short from Studio Kara, a studio owned and run by the legendary Hideaki Anno of Evangelion fame, with the short being directed by the mechanical designer for the Rebuild series, Ikuto Yamashita, as well as character animation from Iwao Teraoka, a lead animator who's worked on a variety of shows like Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood and Samurai Champloo, and who also really seems to enjoy animating tits, and boy does it show here. You'd think with such a pedigree, Iconic Field would be a feast for the eyes, and you'd be right. The short film is a gorgeous collection of cuts. Everything from the mechs to the character designs have a beautifully stylized polish to them that speaks volumes to both the veteran staff behind it and the love and passion that was poured into it. And Iconic Field definitely feels like a passion project, something apparent from the sheer amount of information the short tries to cram into its brief 7-minute runtime, telling the story of a young boy who witnesses a massive mech crash land in front of him, only for a beautiful silver-haired woman to emerge, and things get a little, inappropriate for a moment before the two become friends and eventually go their separate ways, only to then, years later, find themselves on the opposite sides of an intergalactic war, with the boy now piloting the mech from his past alongside his new partner. And it's here I think Iconic Field begins to come apart a little, as there's so much going on it very quickly becomes difficult to keep a hold of. In a mere 420 seconds, the film tries to cover dual timelines, the nature of humanity, the politics of a massive space conflict, and the secret technologies of an ancient civilization. And the result feels, well, a little all over the place. I get the feeling that at some point Iconic Field was initially meant to be a much bigger project than it ended up being, and the remnants of that are everywhere, from the plot threads that don't conclude to the sections of the movie that rely on rough stills instead of actual animation. But despite that, I still found Iconic Field a thoroughly enjoyable way to kill 7 minutes. And yes, a huge part of that is just the style of the short. It has such great visuals that mesh so perfectly with the rock soundtrack that it creates the kind of experience a teenage me would have probably lost his mind over. But even beyond that, I can't help respect what Iconic Field is trying to be. A massive space opera crammed into 7 short minutes. And does it work? Not entirely, but that doesn't mean we can't admire the searing ambition behind it. And besides, I don't think Animator Expo is about perfectly executing a safe idea well. I think it's the opportunity for lesser known artists to put their all into a project that might not otherwise ever have existed. And Iconic Field is emblematic of that. It's a short that's gorgeous, messy, and ambitious, and ultimately bursting with the passion of its creators. And hell, I think that's exactly what an Animator Expo short should be.